Very good afternoon and welcome to Racing International. We head down to KZN, KwaZulu-Natal. We've got 9 races on the card and we're racing on the Poly track. Well, let's have a look at that track where you can see all around. Look at it, 1,000 metres, 12, 14, all jumping around the turn, and 16 and 18. 2,000 metres, you've got a bit of a squeak, at least down the back straight, to find a decent position. You've only got a 400 metre run in when you turn for home, but I must say, and I say it every week, horses certainly can make up the ground when they switch to the outside. All right, as we're saying, inside draws are preferred, and we're starting off with race 1 on the card. It's over the 1,200 metres, jumping halfway around the turn. Juvenile plate for the 2-year-olds, and number 4 is where we're leaning here. And that's Gregorian Chant, Anthony Del Pesce. We thought it'd run a better race last time. It showed speed, was up the handy, but had to come from a wide draw, 11 out of 15. Now today, gets a decent draw in barrier 2. Now this has got the Cape Town form respected here. If it takes to the Poly track, having its first start should be hard to beat. All right, are there dangers? Well, certainly number 7 from the Dennis Bosch stable. Pretty good first up when making its local debut and its only start. It ran a cracker there, even though well beaten 5 lengths, did run into second, and the comment from the stable will improve on that run. So certainly include there. Number 3, now Mike de Kock stable, every time they send out a horse, and we mention this all the time, they certainly price them up pretty short. Now it's priced up at 7-2. Its sire is Fortwood, who'd probably be looking for more ground down the road, this horse, but is certainly a well-bred individual. As I said, keep an eye on that price here today. Throw in 5 Indian Tractor, comes from a good syndicate. They normally buy good horses, these guys, so keep an eye on it. No money for it at the moment, but another one, keep an eye on, is drawn a wee bit wide in barrier 10, but could be value for the trifecta there at 9-1. Race 2 on the card is a maiden plate for the fillies, and it's a juvenile plate. It's over the 1,200 metres. And Zadora, number 11 from the Anthony stable. Here's the comment. Nice filly, expecting a good run today. It's had 2 runs under the belt so far. Beaten 4 lengths first time out, and hit the front at the 400 in its second run. We thought it was going to go on and win that, and just got a bit tired late. Ran second, beaten 4 3/4, but looking for more improvement from a decent draw today in barrier 4. Number 5, a Night at the Proms. Now, there wasn't fancied first time out. It actually drifted from 10s to 16-1. Well, you're certainly not going to get that price today. It's priced up at 11-10. Very short indeed. Showed plenty of early speed and just got tired late over the 1,000 metres. Probably looking for this trip, but is coming off a short break of 66 days. Number 2, Bubbly Knight might be another one to pop in there. He's found market support now on debut. Cost $260,000 at the sales, and the sire here had plenty of speed. Warm White Knight, so worth including from a decent draw. Keep an eye on the betting there. Another one throw in the 6 as well from the Poor Gatsby stable. Gets a claim of 4 kilos off the back, making its local debut, but another one unfortunately drawn a bit wide in barrier 10. Here we go, race 3 on the card. It's over the 1,400 metres. Another maiden plate, and number 2, Stockfell. Well, it's having its second run back from a bit of a break. They brought it back on the 22nd of April and had a run over the 1,400 metres. Firm in the betting that day, going off favourite at 28-10. It ran a nice race, only beaten the shortest of short heads. It actually went on to win the race. It's actually written wrong in the book. It won it and then was demoted. There was an objection and it went down because it actually won it by a short head but got demoted. So it's actually a winner without a penalty here. Anton Marcus aboard, and I think it'll put things right tonight. Number 1, Just Positive. Certainly a bit of a runner here. Also comes out the same form line as number 2, Stockfell. There was little to choose between them last time, and it should be a good race between the two again. Number 3, Golden Forts, found a bit of market support now into 33-10. Anthony Del Pesce jumps aboard. Another one drawn okay in barrier 5 and lightly raced, only had a few runs under its belt and certainly coming along the right way. Number 5, Give You Wings, MJ Bellafelt, 11-2. Now, this is drawn in barrier 3. Now, I don't know if that's a good draw for this horse. It's normally slow away. Now, they backed this on numerous occasions. They've done their dough. Also comes out the same form line as the top 2. Finished about 3 lengths behind them. Race 4 on the card is a Fillies and Mares 66 handicap. Travelling over the 1,400 metres for the Fillies and the Mares. And number 5 is where we're looking here. Now, number 5 here is coming off a break of 61 days from the Tony Riverland stable. They brought it back in March and they've given it 2 runs since then. It's actually put up 2 decent gallops, finishing just in behind him. Runs well fresh. Lyle Hewitson jumps aboard, the young superstar, the apprentice in his first year, certainly taking all before him. Now, he claims the 2.5 off the back, now brings it in with 56, and I reckon this could be a big runner here as it runs well fresh. Few people have said to me, if number 8, Just a Wrap, wasn't drawn out so wide in barrier 10, they would make this a big runner on the card. Here's the comment from the stable. Stable says, very well indeed, they're just concerned about the draw. So certainly has a winning chance, but needs a bit of luck in running. Number 2, Brave and Bold from the Wendy Whitehead stable. Stewie Randolph priced up at 13-2. Now it is drawn in pole position in barrier 1, which certainly won't help its chances, and gets a decent draw tonight. Last couple of draws have been a little bit wide, so certainly brings it in with a bit of a chance, as I said, priced up at 6.5-1. Number 6, Zayda. It's got Sealy aboard, it priced up at 10-1. Now, they tried it with the blinkers last time, and it over-raced with those blinkers. Went straight to the front, they couldn't hold it, and just faded out a bit late. So they've taken those blinkers off, got a decent draw, and I tell you what, I reckon this is worth including at 10-1. Race 5 on the card is for the fillies and the mares. 66 handicap over the 1,400 metres, and number 4, Quintella is where we're going. I think it's a very, very open race, my opinion, so I'm going to go a little bit of each way value. Currently priced up at 4-1. It's been running over the 1,000 and the 1,200 metres. It's had 5 runs over the course and distance and placed on 3 occasions. Like I said, it's a very open race, and this horse never finishes too far behind. Certainly number 2's got a bit of a story here. The stable is expecting a very good run with this horse. Now, it come up from Cape Town, where normally running against a bit stronger, had decent form. They've given it 2 runs up here, and that was in October and November, and actually ran up with 2 decent gallops there, only beaten 4.5 lengths on both occasions. So I'm expecting a much better run. The stable's expecting a good run, so don't worry about the 187-day break. What about 11? You're going to pop that in? Well, I certainly am. So 4, Show Me Angel. Lyle Hewitson can't claim his whole 2.5 here. Can only claim 1.5, but still brings it in with a nice galloping weight of only 52 kilos, and certainly cracks a decent draw in barrier 1. Now, if you like the 3, and a few people said to me this morning, you need to put this in. I said, gee, you know what, it's been a little disappointing that I got up to win last time by the short heads in maidens. I thought it would have come out the maidens a long time ago. They've been punting this horse in its last 3 outings. They did their dough, but it does have to overcome a whitish draw today in barrier 10. Race 6 on the card is a merit-rated 84 handicap over the 1,200 metres. And number 2, Surrey. I remember we went for this last time, and it was second run after rest, and I always worry about that. Third run back today. I think it's an outstanding chance. Top jockey aboard, Anthony Delpeche, and gets a decent draw today in barrier 2. Certainly the 5 will have accreditation here, with Young Godden claiming the 2.5 off the back. Certainly brings in with a reasonable weight now of only 53 kilos. Got up to win a nice race going back 2 starts ago. It was an apprentice's race, and then followed up, I thought was a fair run in a merit-rated 80 company. So similar company as today. Very honest horse. Doesn't win a lot, but I tell you what, he'll be there and thereabouts. Number 3, Firewood, also comes off a break of 61 days. Keegan DeMello jumps aboard, but he does run well fresh. They brought him back from a break last time, and he ran a cracking race there, only beaten just over 1.25 lengths. All right, we need to find you another one. And number 4, I actually battled, I've got to be honest with you. It took me a long time to try and find a 4th horse, and I've actually gone with the horse drawn out wide, which is not ideal here, but gets a claim of 2.5 off the back. Got some reasonable form. They had good Cape Town form. Then they brought it up to Joburg, where it was only beaten 5 3/4. So not taking on as strong here. Just that whitish draw could be the problem. Race 7 on the card is a merit-rated 99 handicap. 1,200 metres is where we're going, and number 7's our first selection, Tuscan. Lyle Hewitson jumps aboard this horse. He rode it last time out, but he was claiming 4 kilos then, and it got up to win by 1/4 length on that occasion. So if you look at the penalty of a kilo, and he's not claiming the full 4 kilos now, he's actually 2.5 kilos worse off today for only winning by 1/4 length. But he gets a decent draw, and I'm going to stick with him. The stable bullish about its chances. All right, number 6, 6 would be my first selection. On form, it's won its last 3 and won them all very comfortably. But can it overcome that whitish draw as they jump halfway around the turn? It's drawn out wide in barrier 11. Very short at the moment. It's odds on favourite at 19 to 20. It is jumping up in class though, so it will be a big test, but the draws are the worrying thing for me. Number 2, Cutting Edge at 10 to 1, drawn out also a bit wide in barrier 10. Last time out, they put it on the Scottsville turf. It didn't enjoy that. Comes back to the poly track where it certainly has a very good record. Number 10, that's a Highway Explorer, the Australian bred from the Tony Riverland stable, is coming off a break of 108 days. Disappointing last time, but took on a lot stronger there. Coming back to this sort of company should be competitive from a decent draw in barrier 3. 2.5 off the back now brings it in with a nice late weight of 51.5 and a decent price here at 10 to 1. Right, here we go with race 8 on the card. It's over the 2,000 metres. Fillies and Mares 70 handicap. And number 7's the one we're liking here, Girl on the Run. Certainly will enjoy the extra. Look at the breeding there. They tried it on the poly track for the first time out after moving down to, for the season, down to KZN. And it actually ran a decent race there. It wasn't that firm in the market. It actually drifted from 4s out to 11 to 2, but put up a decent gallop when only beaten 2.25 and certainly drawn nicely in barrier 4. Are there dangers in the race? Well, I certainly think there are. And number 1, All Mine, having its second run also in KZN, but trying the poly track for the second time tonight. Last time wasn't a bad first up gallop over the 1950. Easy in the market at 7 to 1 that day. Only beaten a length and a half running into second, but cracks pole position today in barrier 1. Number 4, Nina Katrina. We've mentioned this a few times in the last couple of weeks as well. Certainly a nice, another one who put up a decent gallop when there was money for it. First time at KZN. They backed it in from 14 to 1 all the way into 8 to 1. Now there's a jockey change here. Anthony Delpesh obviously not riding, and Brand Loreno, certainly a very good replacement, is drawn out a little wide in barrier 10. Looking for one more for those trifectas. Well, certainly number 12 needed to be considered here. Comes off a break of 75 days. It's only had the 3 starts, and they tried it over the 2,000 metres last time out, and duly obliged. And that was coming back after a bit of a break on the 4th of March. So it hasn't had a run for 75 days. Another one drawn out a bit wide, but I tell you what, Muzieni certainly boots him home, the jockey, on the poly track. Here we go, race 9 on the card. We're travelling over the 1,600 metres. Liking here number 3, Streets of Gold. Now, they had the cheek pieces on the last couple of outings. Well, actually, they've actually got them on again now. I don't know if that's the right thing because it goes out and gets in front and just gets caught late. But looking at this field, it should be too strong for them. Is drawn out a bit wide, but it does have the early speed. That's apparently priced up at 13 to 10. Certainly number 1, Roy's Monkey, the Australian bred, certainly been knocking on the door for quite a while now and is certainly well overdue to come out the maidens. Nice draw in barrier 2 and also gets the 4 kilos off the back with the apprentice aboard. Very honest horse and now only carries 56. Now, I got a decent comment here from the Mitchley stable. They say number 4, Avast, working extremely well, expecting a big run, but just unlucky with a wide draw in barrier 14. Now, they're bringing it back to the 1,600. They've been running it over the 2,000 and the 1,900 in its last 7 or 8 starts. Back to the mile today. They're expecting a good run if they can have a look. A decent bit of luck from a wide draw. L Attitude, well, do we like this? Well, how many times we tip this to you? It's there and thereabouts, runs 3rd or 4th, but another one drawn out wide. But looking at this field, if it just has any sort of position, should finish in the top 4. Yeah, I think it's a very competitive card. I mean that because there's a lot of horses drawn out pretty wide, and if they were drawn reasonably, you'd certainly be tipping them. But it's pretty tough on a very tight track with only a 400-metre run-in. Right, we're going to be putting up all our selections at our Twitter account at Racing and Tips. From myself, Rod McCurdy, and all the team, we wish you a very successful punting afternoon.